There's a particular kind of silence that settles in after someone leaves your life believing they could find better. A kind of silence not marked by loneliness, but by clarity. They thought replacing you would be easy. They assumed your presence was ordinary. Your patience was expected. Your loyalty was free. Your wisdom was common. So they left. For someone louder. For someone easier. For someone who could give them the temporary thrill their restless soul craved. But what they didn't understand is that some presences cannot be replaced. Some souls leave an emptiness no distraction can fill. And now, they're drowning in regret. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The tranquility that comes when you stop caring what they say, or think or do. Only what you do. And that is your greatest weapon. Not vengeance. Not retaliation. Not proving them wrong with desperate attempts to gain back what was discarded. But calm detachment. When people underestimate you, betray you, or replace you, the most powerful thing you can do is nothing at all. Because silence speaks louder than argument. And indifference wounds deeper than anger. 1. The unseen weight of your presence. People often mistake consistency for simplicity. The fact that you showed up, listened, gave without keeping score, protected their name in rooms they weren't in, guided them when their own compass failed. It became invisible to them. Why? Because it was constant. The mistake so many make is believing that reliable people are replaceable. That patience is a weakness. That quiet strength is boring. Until it's gone. Then the storms come. The lies unravel. The people they chose reveal their shallow nature. The world shows them the cost of losing someone rare. They thought they could find someone better. They believed your presence could be swapped like a jacket in a crowded store. And now, they realize there's no replacement for authenticity. For someone who carries themselves with silent dignity. Because what they didn't count on was you growing colder, quieter, stronger. And now, as they drown in the consequences of their own choices, you stand untouched. 2. Stoic detachment, the art of not reacting. Epictetus taught us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. So when someone leaves you, disrespects you, replaces you, the weak man shouts, the reactive man begs, the desperate man seeks revenge, but the wise man withdraws and sharpens himself. He does not chase what insults him. He does not water what's already dead. He does not place his worth in the unstable hands of another. The art of Stoic detachment is simple, but not easy. You remove yourself emotionally from what you cannot control. You stop wishing people were different. You let them live with the consequences of their actions. And in doing so, you grow untouchable. He who angers you, conquers you. Elizabeth Kenny. So when they thought replacing you was easy, and you chose silence, you weren't weak. You were wise. You knew that the longer you stayed out of their life, the louder your absence would become. That the deeper your silence, the heavier your memory would weigh. Because people often don't regret losing you immediately. They regret it when their illusions collapse. When the temporary becomes unbearable. When what they replaced you with fails to measure up. And by then, you're no longer there to save them. 3. Why people always return to what's real. In a world built on facades, truth is rare. And no matter how long people chase what's shallow, eventually, they thirst for what's real. They remember your wisdom when others give them empty praise. They miss your calm when chaos surrounds them. They long for your loyalty when betrayal strikes them. Because as Seneca said, a gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials. And losing you was their trial. You see, the people they thought could replace you are never as patient, never as loyal, never as deep. The mirage fades, the thrill dies, and what remains is the bitter taste of regret, not because they lost someone, but because they lost you. 4. The Stoic's way, turning pain into power. You could have begged. You could have retaliated. You could have made your pain public. But you didn't. Because Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotion, it's about mastering it. It's about turning heartache into hunger, betrayal into wisdom, loss into leverage. You worked in silence. You sharpened your skills. You rebuilt your mind. And most importantly, you withdrew your energy from people who didn't know how to value it. And now, as they drown in regret, you thrive in peace. Not because you sought revenge, but because you became someone beyond their reach. The best revenge is not to be like your enemy. Marcus Aurelius. Narrator. Your indifference is your greatest revenge. Your calm is your loudest response. Your growth is your sharpest weapon. Because you understood what you tolerate, you teach. And now, in your absence, they learn. 5. Why their regret doesn't deserve your return. Here's a truth most won't admit. They will come back. Maybe not with words. Maybe through silent glances, subtle messages, indirect attempts to reclaim what they destroyed. But they will return. Not because you've changed, but because life has shown them what your worth truly was. But here's the discipline. You do not go back. Not because you're bitter, but because you've grown. Stoicism teaches us to value what aligns with virtue, with strength, with peace. And what betrays you, disrespects you, takes you for granted, has no place in the life you're building. Forgiveness is yours to give, but access is not. 6. Legacy over emotion. Remember this. Your time is your currency. Your peace is your power. And your presence is a gift. Not everyone deserves it. The Stoics lived with a sense of legacy. They didn't waste years chasing people who weren't meant to stay. They didn't drown in sorrow over betrayal. They built lives so profound, so disciplined, so unshakable, that even centuries later, their words echo through time. And you must do the same. Let them drown in their regrets. Let their replacements reveal their emptiness. Let your absence teach them what your presence once gave freely. Because the man who detaches, owns the room without speaking, commands respect without effort, and becomes unforgettable without trying. They left you for less. They thought you were replaceable. They believed your worth was negotiable. But now, they realize you were irreplaceable, and you always will be. Not because you said so, but because life proved it. And that, my friend, is Stoic revenge without action. Walk forward, not for them, but for yourself, because your peace is your power.